You know what's fascinating about nature? A bamboo tree can bend almost to the ground in a storm, while an oak tree stands rigid and breaks. Now you might be thinking, what does a tree have to do with that history test I just failed? Or the friend who just ghosted you? Or the team that didn't pick you? But stay with me, because nature is about to teach us something incredible. There's an ancient Japanese proverb that says, "The bamboo that bends is stronger than the oak that resists." Take a moment to ponder that. The tree that looks weaker is actually stronger. The one that bends survives while the mighty oak breaks. Sounds backward, doesn't it? But that's exactly what resilience is about. Not about being unbreakable, but about learning to bend, to adapt, to rise again. You know, I've learned this lesson the hard way. I used to think being strong meant never showing weakness, never bending. I was trying to be that oak tree. And you know what happened? I broke. But that breaking point, that became my turning point. Nelson Mandela understood this deeply when he said
that the greatest glory of living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time you fall.
I spent a lifetime learning how to get back up after extreme setbacks. Let me share something personal. In 2008, I watched everything I built crumble. My entire real estate portfolio gone. Starting over in my 50s seemed impossible, but I learned to bend, to adapt, to rebuild. I thought that was my biggest test of resilience. But then, on November 20th, 2024, I faced something no parent should ever face, losing my son, Sean. That kind of loss, it doesn't just bend you. It threatens to break you completely. The morning of that day, I actually recorded a video about handling grief, not knowing my world was about to change forever. But here's what I'm learning now. Sometimes our deepest wisdom comes through our deepest wounds. But through Sean's journals, I've discovered he had a dream of helping others, particularly young people struggling with their own challenges. His vision is now becoming our foundation's mission. That's what true resilience looks like. Not just surviving our storms, but finding purpose in them. Not just bending, but growing in new directions we never expected. We all face storms in our lives. Every single one of us. Sometimes it's a failed test, a lost job. Sometimes it's a broken friendship. Sometimes it's those nights when you lie awake wondering if you'll ever be good enough. The real question isn't whether you'll face these challenges. The real question is, how do we build the strength to rise again? How do we develop that incredible ability to bend without breaking? Because here's what most people don't tell you about resilience. It's not about being the toughest person in the room. It's not about ever feeling hurt or scared or overwhelmed. It's what you do next. That's what we're going to explore today. Not just what resilience is, but how to actually build it step by step, day by day. Because here's the truth that took me years to learn. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, like a muscle that gets stronger every time you use it. Maya Angelou put it perfectly when she said, "I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it." So today, I'm going to share with you the exact tools and strategies I've learned about building resilience. Not just theory, but practical steps you can start using right now to build your inner strength. Because remember, it's not about never falling. It's about getting back up one more time than you fall. What is resilience? One day, a farmer's donkey fell into a well. The poor animal cried out for hours while the farmer tried to figure out what to do. Finally, looking at the situation, the farmer made a difficult decision. The donkey was old and ill, and the well was dry and needed to be covered up. It just wasn't worth the effort and expense to save the animal, the farmer thought. The farmer called his neighbors in to help him. They all grabbed shovels and started throwing dirt into the well. When the donkey first realized what was happening, he cried out terribly. Then something amazing happened. He felt quiet. With each shovel of dirt that hit his back, the donkey did something remarkable. He would shake off the dirt and take a step up. As more dirt rained down, he just kept shaking it off and stepping up. The farmer peered down into the well, and he couldn't believe his eyes. Every time a shovel of dirt landed on the donkey's back, he would just shake it off and take another step up. Soon, everyone watched in amazement as the donkey stepped up over the edge of the well and simply trotted off. You see, resilience isn't about being tough or strong, it's about adaptation. It's about taking whatever life throws at you and finding a way to use it to rise higher. In fancy terms, resilience is the process and outcome of successfully adapting to difficult or challenging life experiences. But let me break it down for you. It's about three things. How to think about challenges, like the donkey seeing dirt as steps. Who you have in your corner, even if they don't know they're helping. And what strategies you use to cope. Shake it off and take a step up. Life is going to shovel dirt on you, all kinds of dirt. But remember what our friend the donkey taught us. The trick to getting out of the well is to shake it off and take a step up. Each of our troubles can become a stepping stone. We can get out of the deepest wells just by not stopping, never giving up, shaking it off, and taking a step up. That's what we're going to talk about next. Exactly how to build these skills one step at a time. The 4 pillars of building resilience. Now that we understand what resilience is, let me share something powerful, what I call the code to live by. It may be easier to remember by the 4 R's. These aren't just fancy words. They're tools I've seen transform lives, including my own. The first R, being real. Remember our friend the donkey? When that first shovel of dirt hit his back, he had to face a brutal truth. He was in a well, and they were trying to bury him. That's being real. Being real means looking at your situation straight in the eye, no sugarcoating it, not making it worse than it is, just seeing it for exactly what it is. When my son Sean passed, I was struggling with the fact that I'd never dealt with before. I'd never hold him again in my arms. Yes, it's true. I lost him. But when I found purpose in his passing, everything changed. Second R, getting raw. This is where most people get stuck. They think being resilient means not feeling the hard stuff. Wrong. That donkey felt every bit of dirt hitting his back, but here's what made the difference. He felt it, and then he used it. Getting raw means giving yourself permission to feel whatever you're feeling. The fear, the frustration, the anger, the sadness, and for me, the grief. I felt it all. Because here's the truth of those emotions. They're not our weaknesses. They're our fuel. The third R, staying relevant. This is where things get interesting. He didn't blame the well. He didn't wish things were different. He focused on what mattered right then and right there, and he did what was necessary. Shook it off and took a step up. Staying relevant means asking yourself one simple question. What can I do with what I have right now? Maybe you can't change everything, but there's always one thing you can do, one step you can take, One dirt pile you can turn into a stepping stone. And for me, it's taking Sean's wishes and his loss and turning it into his legacy. The fourth R, creating results. This is where the rubber meets the road. The donkey didn't just think about stepping up. He did it again and again and again. Each step was small, but each step mattered. Creating results isn't about making giant leaps. It's about those small, consistent actions that add up. Remember what Thomas Edison said, our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always just try one more time. These 4 R's work together like pieces of a puzzle. Being real helps you see clearly. Getting raw helps you fuel your journey. Staying relevant helps you focus your energy. And creating results turns all of it into forward motion. Think about building a house. Being real is seeing exactly what you got to go do and the work you have to do. Getting raw is acknowledging how challenging it might be. Staying relevant is focusing on the next brick that you need to lay. And creating results is laying that brick, and then the next, and then the next. These 4 R's are your tools for making sure that whatever challenges you face, they build you up instead of breaking you down. There's this powerful quote I want to share with you. Falling down is part of life. Getting back up is living. Think about where we started, with a donkey in the well, a bamboo tree in a storm, and the simple truth that strength isn't about never falling. Our donkey friend didn't ask for that dirt. The bamboo didn't choose the storm, and I didn't ask for Sean's passing. And you didn't ask for the many challenges you're facing. But here's what I want you to remember. Every single person you admire, every single person who's achieved something meaningful has faced their own wells, their own storms, and their own moments of doubt and loss. But most importantly, remember this. You are stronger than you know. Right now, in this moment, you have within you the power to rise. The power to take one more step, the power to try one more time. And you don't have to do it alone. Reach out, ask for help, share your journey. Because sometimes the bravest thing we can do is simply say, I need support. With every challenge you face, every step you take, you're not just surviving, you're building strength you never knew you had. Keep rising, keep stepping up, keep building that resilience. Because your story, it's not about the times you've fallen, it's all about the times that you got back up. Visit BelieveBecomeBeYou.com to enroll today.